Hi guys, so here is part 2 of my round 2 of the palette battle tournament, which is a tournament where I always pit 2 palettes against each other. They are randomly picked by the Tiny Decisions app, and I choose a winner that will then move over to the next round, and eventually we will determine which of my palettes is like the ultimate winner, like the best palette, quote unquote. So this is the second part of the round 2. I've had like 35 palettes to go through. I'm halfway done, and today we're gonna take a look at the second part, and then I'm gonna show you all the palettes that are moving to round 3, which will be next video. So hopefully you will enjoy that, and comment down below which of these palettes you have and what is your opinion about them, especially if you've chosen differently than I did. And like this video, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. That would really help me out. So now let's just jump right into it, and let me get the Tiny Decisions app, and the first 2 palettes will be the All I Ever Wanted and the Salem the Salem Witch City palette. So I actually have them right next to each other. This is funny. So first up is the Unearthly All I Ever Wanted palette, which is a 12-pan all shimmer palette that I adore. I love Unearthly's shimmer formula. It's really nice, like everyday cute formula that's sparkly enough but it doesn't crease, and it looks just great, and it's super easy to use. So this one, and you kind of have the entire rainbow made out of sparkly shades. So I do love this one. And then we have the Salem Witch City palette from Nomad, which is an 18 pan, and it's a great like Halloweeny color story. You have the purples, you have the greens. I love this color story a lot. I do love the matte here, but I like the shimmers from Unearthly more. And this is hard. This is really hard. I think I would incorporate the Unearthly palette more into my looks than this one, but I do adore the packaging and the lenticular packaging. Yeah, I think I'll choose the All I Ever Wanted palette. I just really like that one. Then next up is the Earth palette from Little against the Galactic Visitor from Cinch. Okay, so let me get those. Okay, so this is the Earth palette from Avatar, the Last Airbender collection, which is from Little Cosmetics. I think this one is the most monochromatic from their from the collection, and it's like very earthy greens and browns. It's a beautiful color story. I do like these shades a lot. You can create beautiful looks, and obviously it's a really fun, cute palette, and I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Such a great series. And then this is the Cinch Beauty Galactic Visitor palette, which is Angelica Nyquist's brand, and this is such a perfect color story. I love these color stories. Like, if you're gonna give me these warm tones with blues, I'm gonna be so happy. I love the shimmers here. I love everything about this palette. So this one is a winner because I have so many more options than the Earth palette. So this one is gonna be in round 3. Then we have the Dragon Eye palette from What's Up Beauty, and the Salmon 2 palette from Woodlands Eye. So let me grab those. Okay, so this is the Ulta Beauty Dragon Eye palette. It's so pretty. You have stunning shimmers here, and the mattes are kind of more neutrally, but very, very pretty. And I love this formula so much, and it's such a great little cute palette that I can wear any day. And we have the Somna 2 from Oden's Eye, which is a beautiful rainbow color story. I think color story wise I might go more for this one because it's more colorful, but the Dragon Eye is a little bit better formula also because it's newer and the shimmers are just uncomparable. So even though this one is obviously very beaten up and very well loved, I think it's not going to the next round, and I'm gonna choose the Dragon Eye. Then we have the Muse palette from Cosmic Beauty and the Water palette from Litlo. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit harder because they're completely different color stories. So this is the Cosmic Beauty Muse palette, and this is how it looks like. It's a perfect earthy, neutral, autumnal palette. It's all the shades that I love to wear all the time. So this one is amazing. I have 3 pans here. Yeah, 3 pans. And it's a great one. And Cosmic Beauty has such a great formula. And they're so inexpensive. And then I have the Water palette from the Avatar The Last Airbender collection. The blues here are some of my favorite blues, and the white shade there, amazing. I wouldn't need the neutral part of this, even though I've been able to incorporate neutrals with blues lately. I don't mind that color story as much as I used to when I bought this palette, but it's a small palette. I want to give it to this one for the blues because they're so good, but it's very kind of monochromatic. I can either do neutral look, a blue look, or blue/neutral. So I can do way more with the Muse. Yes, it's a lot bigger, but also I would reach for Muse more often, even though I love the shades here. So the Muse obviously wins this time. Then we don't have that many palettes left, so we're getting closer to the end of this round. And we have the Ocean Jewel from Bella Beauty Bar, which is a gorgeous palette, together with the Lovesick palette from Wicked Widow. Okay, so that's not gonna be too hard. So we have the Blend Bunny Ocean Jewel palette, which is a beautiful oceanic color story. You have some yellows, teals, greens, blues, purples, some neutrals. It's such a beautiful color story. I love it so much, both visually and the way it actually performs. And Bella Beauty Bar has stunning formula, both for mattes and shimmers. They're absolutely exceptional. So that's for the Ocean Jewel. And then we have the Wicked Widow Lovesick palette. This is my only Wicked Widow palette. I wish I had these smaller ones from them. I'm not too interested in their 16 pans, but these small ones, they do seem really fun, and I wish they would get back to Monolith. But I don't know if Wicked Widow still releases new products. I haven't heard from them since the Crow collection, I believe. But this is a small peachy, small pinky palette. I do love pinky shades once in a while. I mean, I do wear some pinks today, but it's not the color story that I reach for the most, and this is a very monochromatic color story, so I think all of you already know that I'm gonna choose the Ocean Jewel. I would choose Ocean Jewel over most palettes, but especially over like monochromatic. This one always wins because I like to have my options, and yeah, that's kind of the reason. So next up We have the Fuji palette from Nomad, which is the love of my life, together with Divination. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Okay, so the Nomad Fuji palette, this is so pretty. It's genuinely a work of art, and I love the color story here. You have some pinky reds, teals, blues, yellows. Such a perfect autumnal color story, and I absolutely adore this. It's my favorite palette from Nomad. It's so good. It's so great. And I love it. And then there's the Blend Bunny Divination palette from Robert Welsh. This was my first palette that I've ever tried from Blend Bunny, and now I have like 3 of their palettes. This is great. For me, it's slightly too big, and I don't like the layout too much. I like what Blend Bunny is doing now when it's a little bit more jumbled up. I don't really like this like strict layout, but the shades are great. The mattes are amazing. The shimmers could be better. It's not that they're bad, it's just more standard formula, and I'm very into sparkly shimmers. And I do have more options here, but I do like the color story of the Fuji, and I think it's more curated and more fun. With this, you kind of have the entire rainbow. So I think this one is going back to my collection. And we're gonna move the Fuji to round 3. And then we're very close to the end of this. So we have the Sheen Effect palette, which is the Chameleon something palette, and the Fall Magic. Okay, so they're right in front of me. This is the Sheen Effect palette. It's a very small 9 pan, and it is kind of like moodier autumnal color, so it's very earthy. You have some neutrals, you have the pinks and the kind of tealy shades, and the shimmers are very, very beautiful. Like, I will give them that. They're great. And then we have the Unearthly Fall Magic palette, which I love. It's such a perfect fall color story. You have the pinks, the spicy colors, the greens, the purples, and I love this color story. I love this formula. And I have more options here, so it's this one. So far, it's not too hard to pick. I was expecting this to be harder. And then we have last 3 palettes, so we'll see which one will automatically move to the next round. So we have the Air palette from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the Sorbeti palette from Glam Shop. Okay, so this is the Avatar this is the Avatar Air palette from Little. This is my favorite palette from that collection because it's the least monochromatic. I love this color story so much, and it just makes me so happy to look at, and it's wonderful. So this one, incredible, great formula. And then we have the Sorbeti palette, which is mostly a shimmer palette. You have some very beautiful kind of pastel-y shimmer shades. Great formula for great price. But I just really love the Air palette. And I mean, we have a couple similarities. Like, we have this shade, and then kind of this shade that are similar, and some of the shimmers are also kind of similar. Yeah, I think Sorbeti is going back to my collection. And I'm gonna choose this beautiful one. And that means that the palette that was left is the Serpent palette from Makeup Beauty Shop, and that one automatically is moving to round 3 because I don't have anything to pit it against. And this one is obviously great, and it's one of my favorite palettes in my collection, and it has been loved so many times. So it makes sense that it's going to round 3. So let me get all of the palettes to show you which ones we're going to be working with for next round. So maybe I could go by brands. I have both of my DD Signature palettes. So it's the Drops of Fantasy and the Chromebook Volume 2. They're both moving to round 3. Then from Odin's Eye, I have 2 palettes. And it's the Mighty Monster palette, which is a collaboration with Annette Amberstadt, and then the Little Ghost palette, which is a collaboration with Angelica Nyquist. So both of these. From Unearthly, I actually have 3 palettes, which is funny because I have 4 Unearthly palettes in total in my collection. So it's the All I Ever Wanted, the Fall Magic, and my favorite, the Spring Magic. Then from Little, I have 2 palettes. So I have the Avatar The Last Airbender Air palette, my favorite from the Avatar The Last Airbender collection, and then the Candy Kingdom, which is another palette that I own from them. So these 2. From Nomad, I only have 1 palette, and it's the Fuji palette, again my favorite, so it all tracks. From Bella Beauty Bar, I have only the Ocean Jewel. I own 2 palettes from them, so this one is the only one that got here. 3 of my Cosmic Beauty palettes are here, which makes sense. So it's the Winter Wonderland, my favorite, the Delicious Delights palette, and then the Muse palette. So again, makes sense. Those are my top 3. Then the What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette, which I love a lot. The Lord of the Rings palette from Glenma, which is a little bit surprising, and I think that one will probably be eliminated next round because it's kind of monochromatic. Then the Cinch Beauty Galactic Visitor makes sense, one of my favorite palettes this year, and the Serpent palette from Makeup Beauty Shop. So those are all the palettes. How much is that? How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18. That's 18 palettes, if I'm counting correctly. So at the end of next round, we're gonna have 9 palettes to work with. That will be exciting. Okay, so let me know what would be your picks. I hope you've enjoyed this round, and I'll see you for round 3 in a couple days. I think I'm gonna film it in a couple days, and this is a pre-film, so it shouldn't take too long. So I hope you've had a wonderful day. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow. Bye guys.